today. From SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, this is the National Football
And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. On first down, they'll start out with Akers. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Wolford. And his throw here is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. That is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Cowboys! Dak Prescott with a connection to CeeDee Lamb. And the Cowboys are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
That's true. You've said that before. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. This is taken at the 18. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. Throwing, Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Running with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. An early decision point here, Charles, maybe one we'll look back on later. They go on 4th and goal, and they punch it in for the touchdown.
We always talk about how football is a game of confidence, and that's how you get it right there. Leave your offense out there and tell them I believe in you. And they pay it off with 6 points.
That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. So their second touchdown of this first half, they went for 2 after score number 1. Didn't get it. Now they get the equalizer, so to speak.
So to speak, and you can understand the thinking. Because they didn't get it after the first score, they wanted to get back to a normal points pattern, get up to 14. But just think, if they missed it here, they're only up 12-0. 1 extra point on the other side could ultimately beat you if they score twice.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Now the Rams offense getting the football back. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. The play fake, and now Wolford under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Wolford, he'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Throwing is Wolford on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Fielded at the 20. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy 2-point touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So the 2-point conversion trend continues, at least as far as trying those goes. They've attempted them after all 3 touchdowns, CD, and converted now 2 of them.
They're not just dipping their toe in the water, are they? I mean, they're committed to going for 2 points, and 2 out of 3, now with a 22-0 lead. In a sense, they're a little bit ahead of the curve, because normally it would be 21, wouldn't it?
And with the way their defense is playing, I don't know if it matters if they do convert any of these. Wolford now on first down. This one brought in by Jefferson. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Wolford looking to throw it. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. A give up the middle to Akers. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Wolford going to throw. They'll roll. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Shotgun now for Wolford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Riley Dixon now to punt it away. And it's taken in at the 9. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Cowboys. Officially 91 yards on the punt return. And the Cowboys are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Partner, the old rules about not fielding punts inside your own 10, those things are way out the window, aren't they?
Yeah, they say put your heels on the 10-yard line, but when you return it, maybe your coach doesn't say anything to you, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of special teams coach, if they've got a special guy, they'll say, yeah, okay, you can go to the 8. But this one, he really had some guts.
And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. On 2nd and 11 now. Wolford nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for two and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Now Wolford. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. To throw is Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken a 6-touchdown lead. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Now Mike McCarthy going to decide to go for 2 here. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
It's a former star crosstown at UCLA, Anthony Barr. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On the counter, this is Akers. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. This is fielded at the 27. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be first and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
So they elect to pass there on the two-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime. The time is of the essence. We breeze through halftime, and we are ready for the second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter three. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 72 yards. And the Cowboys just continue to roll. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the two-point try. They'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw, it's Wolford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain, or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can...
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Anthony Barr getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. That's taken on the 25. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown. Michael Gallup, 63 yards. And the Cowboys extend their lead yet again. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because in the back of the end zone, never let a guy catch one in front of you.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Going right back to Akers. He takes this for 3 to the 29. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for L.A. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Here's Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And, oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott with a connection to CeeDee Lamb. And the Cowboys get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. How can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Wolford going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Wolford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
From the gun, it's Wolford. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This is brought in at the 21. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. Dallas returns on offense, and among the weapons, Michael Gallup at wide receiver. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Prescott now. And this one quickly to Lamb. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards, the final tally. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2.
I have to admit, I love the excitement of the 2-point try. You know, to see what's going to happen, and it happens pretty quickly, doesn't it? You get an answer, and in this case, it was unsuccessful for the guys trying it.
Completely unrelated. I just realized that I stole both of your pins in this last game. My bad, partner.
Hey, that's okay. Well, and just in the time they went for 2.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 2nd and 10. Wolford. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well.
Touchdown! Michael Gallup, 46 yards. And the Cowboys take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Throwing now is Wolford. He's got Higbee complete right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams. Here's Wolford. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Wolford to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As we prepared for these games, we've noticed offensive coordinators have had an expanded playbook on 2-point conversion tries because they never know when they may have to use it during a game.
But that also means the defense probably has more for these situations too, right?
No doubt about it. I think for the most part, defenses will be aggressive on 2-point tries. They want to get after the offense and make them force the issue.
And here the defense wins. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And he's brought down. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on. But apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Wolford. Pass caught. It's been Skoranek.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. This is taken at the 18. And they are going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see them kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, here's Wolford.
Open man is Higbee, the tight end. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Wolford now to throw.
And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on ESPN.
Today, from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
Here's the former Florida Gator, Eddie Pinheiro, to get us started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. This one fielded at the 5. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Dak going to start out going to the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Prescott to throw it. His throw caught at about the 5. And the Cowboys are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Prescott to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on second down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
Here's Elliott. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. So a decision to be made. Is this something, opening drive maybe they discussed before the game?
They had to, and that's the responsible way of getting ready for a game. You go through situations with your staff. You go through scenarios,
and you read your team. If we're in this spot and we're moving the ball well,
and he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Zeke Elliott able to find his way in from a yard out. And the Cowboys' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
I think going for it there on the opening drive, CD, if you're that close to the end zone, seems like a no-brainer, and they're able to cap things off with a touchdown.
I think that he was imagining the message he would send to his team if he called for the field goal unit at that point. Great drive, got it all the way down there. You're telling your offense, I believe in you, and you're also telling your defense, hey, if they don't score, we've got it covered.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Darnold and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 here
At their own 25-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Again, it's Foreman. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Faking the give, Darnold. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Darnold on target to Moore for the Panther 1st.
Here's Foreman.
To the 36-yard line, stop there.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a 1st. Darnold from the gun.
He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. They'll try and run for it. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. A 1st down throw, Darnold. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold. His throw incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
This is up and good from Pinheiro.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
2nd drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air.
A leap, and he's got it. He got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup 67 yards. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way...
Oh, Darnold loses it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any...
That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. CD, that's his second touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the first half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
The Panthers on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Darnold. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense. He's got a man complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A second down throw for Prescott. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Matt Ioannidis bullying his way in and sticking him to the turf.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. They'll run it with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys are able to add on to their first half lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They run again with Foreman. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 53 yards. Rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front. That's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game and they know it helps their team.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is going to have a Panthers first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. Back to throw, Darnold. And that's incomplete. He was looking for Chuba Hubbard out of the backfield. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again is Darnold. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. Now it's Darnold. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
To throw again on second down. Darnold, he gets it to Thomas. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Micah Parsons drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up fourth down. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Prescott on first down. And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half. Prescott gonna take a shot for Gallup. It's caught at the 10. So we've come to halftime after a very getting through the break at record pace and right back to football. Third quarter, here we go. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
Hey, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it.
Darnold, he lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. On first down, it's Darnold. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Working with a 2nd and 3. A carry for Foreman. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and they will remain well behind.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for two, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. To throw is Darnold. Able to complete this to Chenault.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. On first down, Darnold to the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll run with Foreman. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to do
a fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup.
Fine work there on the touchdown run. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Now onto the field, here come the Panthers.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Darnold now to throw. Complete to Deontay Foreman at running back. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Now Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack. Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. Shakes off the sack. And now Prescott is going to be taken down. He couldn't get away, and that's a safety.
All right, partner, deuce is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Darnold. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Darnold. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Micah Parsons able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular, pretty much uncoverable.
And you know
that's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 74 yards. And the Cowboys add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the 4th quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort, really well executed. Congratulations to them.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Carolina getting set to take the field. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. But just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continue to build energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Oh, Darnold loses it. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Again, he'll drop to throw. And Darnold got to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Cowboys will take over possession here up at the 44. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense?
And this is caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. CD, it'll go into the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the fourth quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, it was really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They really got it done.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. They'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. One of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
Darnold and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 here at their 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got a 1st down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. That's Anthony Barr coming in from his linebacker spot to bring him to the ground. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. Over the middle, he's got Shenault. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Fourth down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw again. Throw left side complete. That's Hubbard. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 23. They'll look to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Marshall. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Piñeiro's extra point up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. Fields it right around the goal line. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Throwing here, Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. Oh, a leap it. He will make the catch. Fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.